Another interesting weekly rotation in the books, some newcomers and some old favorites, you know, the same OMO because I like to mix it up in my weekly rotations. It's week number 78, so stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday is one of the newest designer fragrances to my collection, and I gotta tell you, it's as good as advertised. It's a sweet creamy orange, essentially. It is Paco Rabanne Ultra Red Man. Stuff really is as good as everyone says it is. Oh, man, it's a sweet creamy orange. Very zesty up top, orange peel type of smell with the blood orange. Praline and vanilla. Add that creamsicle type of smell that people talk about. Not so much creamsicle for me, but it's a creamy orange. It does, that creaminess is definitely there. It's sweet. It's got enough potency to push, last a while, but it's not a real heavy wear for being a sweet fragrance because it's not super sweet. It works totally fine in the heat. I've been enjoying it. I plan on wearing it throughout the summer. This was my first full wearing, and like I said, it's as advertised for how good it is. Get a bottle if you can find it for a decent price. I paid $50 for this from Kingdom Fragrances. I don't believe Steve has a stock anymore, but if you can find it around that price, that's a really good price for it when they pop up. It's worth having in my opinion. And then that night, time for a good shave. I grabbed my Strike Gold Shave Happy Land Barbershop Shave Soap and Aftershave Splash. Definitely some really good stuff. If you like Happy Land Barbershop, it's kind of a must in my opinion. If you do traditional shaving, wet shaving type stuff, you lather up with a brush and all that good stuff. Double-edged safety razor, straight blade, the traditional style of shaving. Definitely got to check out Strike Gold's products. They make some really, really good stuff, and this set will be coming around again, last I heard, because it's been out of stock for quite a while, and it's definitely one of my favorite shave sets. The potency is definitely there from the oils that EJ gave him from the barbershop fragrance. Definitely one of the better Happy Land fragrances out there. And the shave set's the bomb. Out the shower that night, I had a good shave. Strike Gold and Happy Land Barbershop. Moving into Monday, I'm starting to pull the aquatics out more and more. Every now and then I'll wear something that's a little bit more dense, but it's mainly been aquatics here recently, and no shortchanging that with Chrome Aqua from Zaharoff. Definitely my favorite chrome in the line. I have only smelled Extreme the one time. It is very good, but based off of that one time I smelled it, I can't say I like it more than this one. The mint, the aquatic nature, it's very green while still watery citrus at the same time. This is a lovely fragrance. It's a decent performer. Like I said, it's my favorite one. I haven't tried them all, obviously. I don't have every chrome flanker that's ever come out, but of the 4 or 5 that I've tried, this one's great. It really is. This is another one, as good as advertised. It gets a lot of love, and it's well deserved. Don't hesitate if you can find this one for a good price. If it pops up at the rack stores, I heard Chrome Pure has been popping up. I've been having my eyes peeled. I'd love to get Chrome Pure. I have sprayed that before. I do like that one a lot. This narrowly edges out Chrome Pure for me. They run a race. They're both really, really good flankers in the Chrome line. I just haven't gotten my hands on it. I have a friend that actually Steve had a bottle of it. I've smelled it at his house before. But Chrome Aqua, it's definitely that time of year to where I pull it out a lot more, and that's why it made the rotation. Fantastic summertime fragrance. Do not hesitate. Don't sleep on this one. Zaharoff Chrome Aqua. And then out the shower, I tend to use Nautica fragrances a lot out the shower, and I haven't worn N83 in the Voyage line in quite a while, so I was just in the mood for it. Figured why not? Terrible atomizer too. Barely puts out any juice. I gotta double the sprays essentially. If I was gonna do 4 or 5, almost double the sprays. I might do 8 to 10 just to get what a normal spray would be for 4 or 5 sprays. But it does smell really good. It's another fruity aquatic. It's a little tiny mintiness to it, but it's more fruity aquatic. Standard, cheap, generic Nautica stuff. Definitely one that gets a little bit of love. It pops up at the rack stores all the time. You can get this one very easily. Good refresher stuff, good starter fragrance, or for what I use it for. Out the shower in the evenings when you just want something fresh and clean that's not going to be an overwhelming fragrance, that's just light and easy to wear and goes well with a shower gel. Out the shower, Nautica Voyage N83. Moving into Tuesday, so now that the cat's out the bag, I can finally talk about this fragrance. I went with Zaharoff and TLTG Reviews Business Over Pleasure. This is my baby right here, my wonderful creation that I made with Claude Deer. I love this stuff. I mean, I made it. Of course, I'm going to be biased towards it. I absolutely love it. It's in its simplest form. Let me put the video right here for you guys. For those of you that haven't checked it out, I went over everything in that video for the pre-sale, which is active right now. If you want to get on it while we still got them, of course, the link's in the video description. But with this one, it's a fresh and spicy floral fragrance. Iris is at the heart of this. There's a lot of woods here. There's cashmere wood, there's Palo Santo, there's guaiac wood. Of course, there's a little bit of amber that comes in later in the base, but it's mostly about the iris. You get plenty of ginger and Sichuan pepper up top. There's a juicy bergamot for about the first 20 minutes or so. It's very fresh, light and airy in the opening, and then it starts to get a lot more body and density to it as it starts to dry. Those slightly heavier notes start to come out more, the woods. That's why I wanted a lot of woods in this fragrance. Really give it a strong backbone and give it some good staying power with different woods to give it different nuances and character. So I won't go on and on about it, but Tuesday, this was the official announcement video, so of course I wore it. TLTG Reviews and Zaharoff Business Over Pleasure. And then when I got the shower that night, switched it up from something floral to something melon and fresh and fruity. Abercrombie & Fitch, First Instinct, the original, one that I really don't wear that often. I give Together, my favorite flanker, all the love. I wear First Instinct Blue pretty regularly to the gym. This one in Extreme, I actually don't wear that much. And don't be wrong, smells incredible. It is the baseline DNA for all these flankers in this line that I enjoy. I do like it, I just need to wear it more. And that was the mindset when I got out the shower. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to wear. I saw the bottle. So why not? I haven't worn it in a long time. So another one. You see any of these at the rack store, any of the First Instinct line, grab them. They're worth it. They're cheap. They're on the synthetic side, but I think they're a joy to wear and they smell great. Abercrombie & Fitch, First Instinct, the original. Moving into Wednesday, this is one of those slightly denser fragrances that I was in the mood for. Not a heavy wear. I'll wear this one through the summer even though I have lighter and airier concentrations that are easier to wear. I still just really love Dior Sauvage Parfum. I talked about it recently in a video, so I went ahead and threw it in the rotation. This stuff is great. It got a lot of mixed reviews when it came out. Not that, was it 2019? I think it was 2019 it came out. I think it's great. It's my favorite version of Sauvage. It's got it going on. It's the best smelling one to me. It's got that olibanum smokiness with that, bright and crisp orange up top. The ambroxan's still there. You do get the spices. It's a little bit sweeter, but not overly sweet. I think it's very well balanced. It doesn't smell near as synthetic as the EDP or the EDT. It's a sneaky type of performance because it goes hours and hours and hours and hours with very consistent, moderate projection. Not a heavy room filler, but when somebody smells you, they're going to like it, in my experience anyway. Fantastic fragrance. That's why I'm happy to have this big 200 ml of Dior Sauvage Parfum. Then we got out the shower that night. This is one that's been sitting on this table that I've been wanting to put in the rotation, whether it be out the shower or during the day, and I just grabbed it. Moschino Uomo, the once upon a time hype cheapie that is still absolutely worth having. Around 20 bucks will get you a bottle, even sub $20 for a tester without a cap. I say spend the extra $2 to get the cap in the full presentation box. I mean, the box don't matter, but to me, I like to have the cap. This is another one of those high character cheapies, in my opinion, because it does change quite a bit. Really focuses on the kumquat and the lotus. Really jumps out at me. That aquatic flower gives it that. There's an interesting type of wood / powdery musky smell to it as it starts to dry. It's an intriguing fragrance. It always has been to me. It was one that I used to have a bottle of years ago, back in like junior high, if I remember correctly. So I've always liked it. I rebought it back at the beginning of 2020, and I just haven't been wearing it enough. I wear it sporadically every so many months, but I've been meaning to wear it, so I just went ahead and threw it on out the shower. I said screw it and started spraying. Boy, I was smelling great all night. Uomo from Moschino. Moving into Thursday is my favorite blue fragrance, which if you've watched me for any number of videos, you probably know what fragrance that is. That is Acqua Essenziale Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. This is one of my favorite fragrances. Always has been. I got a backup 100 ml, and at the rate I wear fragrances, because I have so many, probably gonna last me forever. This is one I thoroughly enjoy. I don't like to wear this one in the high heat. It's still in the 70s, so it's right around that sweet spot, you know, warm spring weather for me to wear it. Ideally, I love this for the spring and fall. That's when I like to wear these more dense, slightly powdery type of blue fragrances. That's where this shines. A lot of lavender, slightly powdery lavender in this one. I love it. Smells like Dylan Blue's big brother, if you will. It's got some Dylan Blue vibes with a few other things going for it. It doesn't smell exactly like Dylan Blue. I actually like this better. Like I said, it's my favorite blue fragrance. Yes, the price is a little bit higher than it used to be, but you can still find them in the 30-some odd dollar range. They're still worth it at that point for me. Performs very well, smells great, very versatile. It's one of my favorite fragrances. Acqua Essenziale Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. And when I got the shower that night, I was smelling like a fresh glass of lemonade. Jimmy Choo, man, ice. You know, I'm like I showed in the video, the cheapy summer video, I'm starting to work my way down in this bottle. Love the atomizer. This is one that has sneaky projection. First hour, it's all up in my face. Smell it heavily. I really smell myself in the first hour on this one. Then it starts to sit pretty close to the skin. Not a real strong performer in longevity. 3-4 hours maybe. You can definitely spray your clothes with it. It's a light, easy wear. It's a citrus bomb, really. It smells like lemonade. Only this one has a bit more of a fresh vetiver presence in the dry down, a little bit of a woody tinge that's not as present in Dior Homme cologne, Mercedes-Benz cologne, stuff like that, because this smells similar to that, just the budget-friendly version, if you will. Must have, in my opinion, especially from a cheap standpoint. If you're looking for just a nice, great smelling, not overly synthetic cheapie to your wardrobe, Jimmy Choo Man Ice is definitely good for that. Very, very refreshing. Like I said, it smells like lemonade. Moving into Friday, so I just started doing some testing on this one for a collaboration review I have with Chad from A Gentleman's Journey coming up next month on his channel. So I just started doing some testing. This was my first full wearing since I got the discontinued Gucci by Gucci Sport. And I gotta tell you guys, the mintiness that's present here, for there being no mint and no geranium, I really attribute it to the fig mixing with a dominating cypress note in here that's got a minty greenness without mint or geranium. It's the weirdest thing, but that's what I get. It's got a strong minty presence on my skin, and that juicy, slightly soapy fig smell that it has. It's a slightly soapy smell, not generic soapy. This has actually got quite a bit of character for being labeled a sport fragrance, and I got surprising performance out of it. I got every bit of 6 hours before it really started to fade into a skin scent. I was shocked. Not a real heavy projector, but you know, a nice little bubble. I could get whiffs all throughout that 6 hours. I could smell myself pretty easily, but definitely a underrated, discontinued little gem, in my opinion, is Gucci by Gucci Sport. And when I got the shower that night, right back to the well with the Nautica Voyage line. Another one I haven't worn in a very long time, Nautica Voyage Heritage. I need to get them back in the rotation. I used to wear these a lot out the shower, and then I started wearing other things. You know, another generic, fruity, citrus, aquatic, woody, aromatic type of smell. Spectacular? No. Is it easy to like? Yeah, absolutely. On the synthetic side, not a real strong performer, 3 maybe 4 hour fragrance, but for the $15 you're going to pay for it, like I said, these Nautica fragrances are a great way to start a collection. They're great for younger people, especially if you're on a budget, and they're, like I said, they're easy to like. I love wearing these out the shower. I grew up on Nautica fragrances, essentially. Out the shower that night, one I haven't worn in quite a while, Nautica Voyage Heritage. Finally, on Saturday, one that I have not reached for in a very long time, that was just a pleasure to wear, really was. Ermenegildo Zegna Acqua di Neroli. I actually did a little quick scent of the day slash review, partial review, if you will, quick review as a fragrance shorts video. You know, the little shorts videos that are part of YouTube now that I do from time to time. I did one on this. Super lemony citrus. Oh man, and such a good neroli note. Soapy clean neroli. This is, I don't know if it's actually a niche fragrance, because there's the niche versus designer kind of thing going with these Hermenegildo Zegna fragrances. Some of them are really expensive niche level fragrances. It smells like a niche fragrance. It smells of the highest quality. It really does. Might be a niche fragrance. I can't confirm it. That's the thing. Because Zegna has, the Zegna line, or even Hermenegildo Zegna, has a lot of designer fragrances as well. But they do have what would be considered, I don't know if it's considered a private line or a more niche level line, but this is from that type of sector, and it definitely smells of niche quality. This stuff is fantastic. I was lucky enough to find it almost 2 years ago at a TJ Maxx for $30. It's fantastic. It kind of gets lost in the shuffle like a lot of fragrances tend to sometimes in my collection, and it's one I haven't worn in a while. I actually had to wipe a lot of dust off from around the cap, but it was dynamite to wear this one. It was such a joy. Very consistent projection. On the moderate side, not real heavy, but definitely not weak, and it went on for every bit of 8 or 9 hours on my skin. Lovely fragrance. If you can get this one for a great price and you like neroli, it's a must-buy in my opinion. Hermenegildo Zegna, Acqua di Neroli. And then when I got out the shower, I just talked about this one in my cheapy summer fragrance list as well. I'm just in the mood for it. Lacoste L'Homme. Normally something I wear as my daytime scent of the day, but I was just in the mood for it. I love the orange and the rhubarb in this. It's very lovely. It really is. It's quite lovely. The Intense gets all the love. I hate that this gets overshadowed by the Intense, because this is still a great fragrance. That's still an average performer. You know, what you would expect, 5-6 hours, average projection. It's, you know, nothing beast mode, but nothing overly weak. You can get these in that $30 range, and it's worth owning. Is it redundant if you have the Intense? Yeah, that's kind of why I've held off getting the Intense, because I got this one first, and it's a great fragrance in its own right. If you're trying to decide between the two and you find the original for a great price, it's not a big enough difference in performance to really need to get the Intense. But if you can get them for the same price, yeah, get the Intense, I guess. But out the shower, Lacoste L'Homme. That's the rotation for week number 78. Until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What did your week look like? What did you wear last week? Let me know down in the comments. You know I love reading it, stuff like that. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances that I wore this past week, give them a spray now. You might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.